Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Fred West family. Yeah. And then too, I'm gonna make like a team out of my name. I'm like Team Fred. I think I'm gonna do that. And first off, I wanna say sorry for the long wait. I know the last time I uploaded on my channel was back in February 4th, 2019, my last video. And ironically, today's the last day of March. Today is March 31st, 2019. And I'm here with a story time. And I really didn't want to do the story time, but at the same time, I wanted to get it off my chest, because it's still heavy, on my chest and all that. And then, two, this is also my first story time on my channel. So, what I'm going to be talking to you guys today, because, some of you were around, when you heard the news about my mom, and a lot of you wasn't. So, if you guys want to, know about it, stay in this video, and if you guys don't want to know about it, you can, click out of the video. I'm gonna go to back from. I'm gonna start all over with this story. My mom, she's a very, great person. She's an angel. Like I tell you, she never gave up on me. She never harmed me in any kind of way. She never down talked me or ever turned her back on me. My mom, she loved me to death, and she was easy to make friends with and everything. My mom, she's the best woman, that she's one of the best women that are out there. And I really appreciate that. And I love my mom to death, just like she loves me to death. That's my ride or die right there. Those are one of the people that I would literally die for. So I got that out of the way. So everything was going good, and there were times, I was around when my mom, got ill. But, and then right after she got ill, she did some treatment and she got back healed, like nothing ever happened. She bounced back like that. So I remember around July something of 2000 and I want to say 2016, if I'm not mistaken. My mom, she woke up and she had a bump on the side of her stomach. It was a little bump, size of a, golf ball. Golf ball. And, it was hurting her. And how she know it was there because she loves to lay on her side. And it started hurting her when, she started laying on her side that day. And she rolled over and looked, and she had, a knot on the side of her stomach, the size of a golf ball. So she went right away. She didn't waste no time at all. She went right away to the doctor, and the doctor told her, it's nothing to worry about. She can live with it and all of that. So over time, it gotten worse. My mom, she couldn't eat certain foods, and she couldn't, have the stench of certain foods, like the smell of certain foods. And she couldn't even drink certain things without, getting sick. None of these things she could have did. The only thing she was able to eat was salad and, cereal. And even when she ate that, she got sick, threw it up and got nauseous, all of that. So she kept going to more and more doctors, and they all couldn't find what was going on. They're saying she can live with whatever this is, growing inside of her, and really you can't, because I'm gonna get right into it about what my mom was diagnosed with later on in the road. So after countless of doctors didn't know what the heck they were doing, my mom got real sick, and this thing that once was a golf ball, it was huge, and it turned out to be that the thing was 13 pounds inside of her. It was like my mom had like two twins inside of her. That's how big this thing was. And when this thing was diagnosed, it was diagnosed to be a hernia. And I also feel blame on this part, on my half. My mom, she will always, lift these heavy water jugs, and with certain women, you can't be picking up on heavy things because it'll cause, a strain in your body and a hernia. And my mom, she was always picking up water jugs, for the house and putting them, in the living room so we can have water to drink off of. And you probably be like, "Oh, Fred, where were you at?" Look, around these times my mom is doing this, I was still in high school. You know what I mean? And if I wasn't in high school, I was sick. And sometimes I volunteered with my mom, and my mom's like, "No, son, I got it." And I'm like, "Mom, you sure?" And she's like, "Yes." So I feel blame on that part. So when my mom was rushed to the hospital, they diagnosed, her with a hernia that was growing in her since, um, from a small golf ball to 13 pounds inside of her. And that's like two twins, that can measure up to two twins inside of your stomach. That's how big this hernia was. So they had to go in my mom and surgically remove the hernia and, stitch her back up. And it came back that the hernia was cancerous. And the type of cancer that they diagnosed my mom with was stage 4 cancer. And here's another part where the doctors messed up on. They said that they got the hernia out with the stage 4 cancer in it before it spread to my mom's, whole entire body. But really, they didn't do it. They didn't do it the way they claimed they did. The stage 4 cancer was still there. And I'm like, okay, we're good. Just give mom some time to heal, like we did all the other times, and she's gonna bounce right back. My mom, I'm not making this up at all. My mom, she was like Wolverine. And some of you guys might know who Wolverine is, and a lot of you might not know. But Wolverine, he's one of the X-Men characters. And he even started in his few films, the Wolverine and Logan and all of that. And he's, the guy with the claws. And, he can heal fast from anything. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying my mom was, like, healing, like, that fast. She wasn't, like, a superhero. But she was in my eyes. You know what I mean? She was a superhero to me. It took my mom to, to do therapy, to heal, to take it easy. But she bounced right back, just like, Wolverine would have. So I'm like thinking just like that. I'm like, Mom, she's a fighter. She's a trooper. And she is. And, I was really thinking that. And I know that, So they said, but here's the thing. And my mom's name is Margaret West. And there's like, here's the thing. Margaret is going to have to do chemotherapy. And I'm like, chemotherapy? What is that? I never heard of that before. And they're like, chemotherapy is to like make sure that the cancer, is gone completely. And I'm like, what are you guys saying? Like, first you guys are saying like, you moved the hernia that had stage 4 cancer in it before it spread it to my mom's body. So if you guys did that, then my mom should be in the clear. And all she has to do is like to be bedridden for a little bit and then do some exercises, to get back, her strength and the heal and all of that. And we're going to be right back to, our normal routine, living life, being around each other and all of that. So I'm like, why we need to do chemotherapy for? Like, you guys are not making no sense. Like, I was so lost and devastated and mad all at the same time. I'm like, what do you guys mean? And that's what I even said to the doctor. I'm like, what? So, like the usual, my mom is laid up in a hospital bed for a while. And when she got released, I was so happy. I was like, "What, mom? You back? We back and everything." And she got released a few months right before her her 50th birthday. So we going back, on the way back home, and the first place we stopped at, my mom, she couldn't eat because she, had to take it easy because she just got surgery on her stomach. She got sewed back up in the inside and on the outside. She had stitches, and she couldn't, live that life yet. She had to drink certain milks and stuff you have to do when you get surgery. So after all of that, I headed to KFC, celebrated, got chicken wheels, listened to music. We was having a fun time. It was so much fun to have my mom back. And we had so much fun that day. And for now on, we did. And boom, on 2018, January 13th, we threw, my mom an early 50th birthday party. And it was very nice. We played all my mom's songs. We danced, we sang, we did trivia questions, we did all that fun stuff. And my mom's birthday was actually on the 16th of January, but we, did her early birthday party. Like, what's wrong with doing an early birthday party and a birthday party on the actual birthday and a few days after the birthday? Like, we're not the only ones that do that type of stuff. So we're just having so much fun. My mom had all kind of cakes, all kind of chicken, all kind of foods from different genres, all of that. It was just so great. And I'll say around April, I, I started noticing that my mom, April of 2018, I started noticing that my mom was, starting back, deteriorating. Just like the time, when she first had stage 4 cancer. You know what I mean? The hernia. And I was like, oh man. So it was this one night in April, in late April, like the 26th or the 27th or the 28th or the 29th of April. I was in my room, and so was my sister. And my mom, I know when my mom, bees up and when she goes to sleep because she was in the living room watching, TV, flipping through the channels. And after that, she turned off the TV, went back to her room, lay down on the bed, and she called my sister in. She was talking low to my sister because my mom, she knows that I love her to death and she didn't want me to worry. So she called my sister back there to talk to her, and she's like, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. Um, you know, I think something's wrong with me again. I'm always tired. I'm always weak." And my sister's like, "Do you want me to get Fred?" And my mom's like, "No, and don't get him because I don't want him to be worried." So my sister, she still came and told me. She came in my room. She's like, "Fred, I think there's something wrong with mom again." And I went back there and I was like, "Hey, mom, you all right?" And she's like, "No." And she's like, I'm feeling weak. I'm not feeling myself. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I know I'm not right." And I'm like, "Oh man." I'm like, "Probably, you've been staying up a lot lately." And she's like, "No, I be going to sleep for a long period of time, and I be full, full of energy, and then I get right back drained real fast." And her father died, which was my grandfather. He died when I was 13, and he was 75 years old. He had Alzheimer's and dementia. So she said this too. She said she thinks that her father is calling her to come home, which is heaven. And my mom, she was real, into like, God, and she had, Bibles of God. She had those God films, all of that. And, and she always be playing them, even on Easter, she'd be playing them. And, I'd be watching them with her because I love God too. Like, who doesn't? Unless you're like a demon worshiper, some type stuff like that. So she said it seems like her father's trying to call her home. And I'm like, "Oh, bro, this is not good." So the next morning, my mom, went to get ready and she couldn't get up. And my dad had to literally help her up and put her in the living room chair. And she called me and my sister in. And I know that I didn't went to sleep at all, and neither did my sister. And we rushed in the living room. And she's like, "I'm going back to the hospital to see what, is going on." And I And then two, I don't care about, oh, people saying, Fred, you soft, you all that. I don't care because I'm real. I show a lot of emotions. So when she told me that, I started, crying. And so did my sister. My mom's like, y'all don't cry. It's going to be all right. Like the first time I got, the times that y'all was around, I got in the hospital and I bounced back, I'm going to bounce back again. I'm like, and I had that strong feeling too. I was like, man, but what if you don't? I didn't say that to her, but I had that strongly in my head. I'm like, what if you don't, mom? And I was just crying, and she started crying. And I watched my mom walk out the door, and that was the last time I had a full on conversation with my mom. Next time I saw my mom, man, I saw her with bruises on her arms, legs, veins popping out of her neck and forehead, and IVs in her nose and in her arms and tubes on her body and all that. It hooked up to a machine, the monitor her heart rate. It was bad. My mom was hallucinating. My mom was slipping in and out of consciousness, and my mom wasn't able to move that fully on her own, so that I had to put a bag on her just in case she has to go to the restroom and all of that. It was really bad. My mom had bed sores, all of that, and you know she didn't want us to leave her side at all. She wanted us to stay with her, and every time we had to go, because I still had school at the time, and I had to watch over the house also because I was the man of the house. So every time I went to go, my mom, she would be holding my hand so tight. I'd be seeing tears coming out of her eyes, and she'd be whispering to me to don't go. And my mom, she couldn't fully talk, and so she had to whisper for the whole time. I'll never forget that. She was whispering every time she talked. And the medicine they had her on, my mom was gone. And on May 29th of 2018, I went to a skating ring with two of my cousins with my sister, and I was just watching them have a blast. And I was just sitting there at the table, and I'm like thinking about my mom heavily, and all the songs that me and my mom like and that she likes was playing on the loudspeakers while everyone was dancing with each other and laughing and everything. And I was just like, man, something don't feel right. So May 30th, uh, my I got word from people that I know that my mom wanted to see me, and me, I had no way of going because I didn't have money, I didn't have a car, I didn't have no lift over to the hospital. And the next day, I mean, and later that night, my mom wanted to see me. I didn't go to sleep at all. I stayed up on the couch at my aunt's house and everything, and I didn't go to sleep at all, bro. Cause I was thinking about my mom, you know what I mean? And I'm like, bum sleep, I can always sleep, but I can never get another mom. So, 7 in the morning. Well, six. No, it was like eight. Yes, eight when I woke up. I mean, not woke up when I head over to my grandmother's house, which was where my other relatives were waiting at, and I was told by this one relative that my mom passed away at 7 something in the morning on May 31st, 2018. And I'm like, you joking? Nah, this ain't real. This gotta be a freaking joke. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to keep from tearing up. I'm like, nah, I didn't believe it. And to this day, I still don't believe that I lost my mom, which was also a friend to me and a father figure to me. You know, when I lost my mom, that's when a piece of me died with her. And I'll never get that back. and I'll never get that part of me back. No matter what goes on, I'll never, you know. And it really sucks. And so, of course, I broke down, crying, you know, punching stuff, throwing stuff, kicking stuff. I was real devastated. I'm still am, forever will be devastated, you know. No man or boy wants to say goodbye to their mom. And even if they hate their mom, when their mom do leave this earth, they're gonna be like, man, I wish I never had this to say bad about my mom or done this bad thing, these bad things to my mom. You know what I mean? And right after, my mom, she wasn't buried right away. It took her a while to be buried. She was buried June 21st, 2018, a few days before my 20th birthday. My mom was, buried in her white and black outfit. She, had a rose with her. She had a black wig, one of her wigs she wore. And she was put away in this nice all white and silver with a little bit of gold trim casket. And she was anchored in the ground. And she's only buried, and two, another fact is she's buried a few, blocks down from me. So I'm like literally like right by her. And to this day, still haven't paid her a visit, because like it's just, hard to like see my mom, see a tombstone of my mom and not physically see her. You know what I mean? So it's hard. And I feel the blame of not helping her with the water jugs and with not being there when it was her last day of being alive on May 31st, 2000. I mean, not May 31st, May 30th of 2018. Those two things I regretted, man. Not helping her with the water jugs and not being there for her last day of life. Since then, I went to make an Instagram page for my mom, which is the West. It's called it's at the West Family Forever, and there's underscores in it. So that was an Instagram page for my mom. A lot of people showing love, and I really appreciate it. And she has a Facebook, but she made that Facebook way before she had stage 4 cancer and and all of that. And what she passed away from was stage 4 cancer because it ended up coming back, but this time, you know, it was still in her body. So even though the fact of them having my mom do chemotherapy, the cancer spread it to her whole entire body and took her out. But even though my mom, is not here, she's, she's still a big part in my life and she will never be forgotten. And I keep her legacy and her memory going on forever. And I've been thinking about getting my name tatted. I mean, not my name, my mom's name tatted on my left arm. And that's the arm that I write with and draw with. So if you want to follow my that Instagram page for my mom, feel more than free. I'll accept the friend request and all of that, and you get to see, you get to see all of her memories and all that. So this is my story time. Sorry for it being long, but you know, wanted to let you guys know, because eventually, sooner or later, someone's gonna be, asking about my mom and asking the story time for that and wanting to see my mom and all that. So figured that, and plus, I also wanted to get it off my chest, and I kind of feel a little better by doing it. You know, still, process that I'm going through and that I'll forever go through with this, but you know, halfway there. So, um, thank you guys for listening to me, and it means a lot. It really does, and I love you all with the bottom of my heart. And you know, you can give this video a thumbs up, which is the like button. You can hit it and subscribe to my channel. You know, if you want, but I would really appreciate it if you do. And if you want to be notified, click the bell and double click it. Yeah, to be notified. And it will say you'll be notified. So I'll keep you guys updated. And like I said, on my social media as well, if you are following me on social media, or if you have my phone number, text me or comment down below on this video and give me suggestions of story times that I should do for you all. So I love you all. Peace.